Hello everyone and welcome to our live coverage of Starlink 15-4 mission launch from West Coast, that is from Pad Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. Hi, my name is Dipta Maitra, performing the commentary for today's mission launch, and you are watching AstroYonder live.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around.
Houston, we see a nominal MECO. Welcome to space.
We hope you all are doing fine and excited about the upcoming SpaceX Starlink launch. We are super excited bringing you the coverage of SpaceX's 484th overall launch and the 56th Falcon 9 launch of this year, which also signals that SpaceX is going to have its 500th mission launch this year with just 17 more launches to go. That is going to be a major milestone for SpaceX. Now today's launch marks the 18th one from Vandenberg for SpaceX as they continue building their incredible launch cadence for the year. Well, one thing, let us know your prediction for the month when SpaceX will reach its 500th mission launch. We'll be excited to know what's your opinion about this. Would like to welcome Pop Tripika, one of our moderator here, joining us. Pop Tripika, although this stream, this stream you joined it right because we will be getting some good views because it will be just getting night, not so much, but we will still have daylight, so we will be getting some good views. But the upcoming one, it's important, and because we will be having the 28th booster reflight on the upcoming one, Starlink 6-83, but I guess in that we won't be getting much good views. But thanks for tuning in, and I hope you are doing well. Now, just a reminder, we had launches for Starlink Group 11, 12, and 13, but Group 14 was skipped entirely, and SpaceX jumping straight to Group 15, which already had 2 launches before today's one. Now, we are waiting for a Falcon 9 liftoff at 6:15 p.m. Pacific Time, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time from California for a southeasterly launch for SpaceX Starlink mission. The Starlink mission 15-4 will launch a batch of 26 Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit. Now, before we dive into the mission details, on behalf of AstroYonder team and our awesome moderator, already one of our moderator joined us, and hopefully another moderator will be joining in meanwhile. We want to thank you all for joining us for today's launch. We are so grateful to have you as part of the stream. Really appreciate you being here. And a huge shout out to our amazing YouTube community for the support as we bring you detailed coverage of space launches, all with stats and in-depth insights. Also would really appreciate it if you guys could join the chat and let us know from where you are tuning in. Additionally, feel free to share any questions, any suggestions you have to make our stream more better, or opinion, please do share with us. We would love to hear from you guys. Now, once again, just a reminder, it's just me only managing the launch coverages on my own. So if we face any technical issues by chance, Please bear with me and be tuned in. There is absolutely nothing to worry. I will do my best to guide you through the Falcon 9 rocket launch happening in approximately 37 minutes from now. Now, once again, just to remind you, SpaceX is currently targeting a liftoff time of Falcon 9 from Vandenberg Space Force Base at 6:15 p.m. Pacific Time, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday, May 12th of 2025. Now let's get back to today's mission. So far, the report suggests that the weather is looking good for today's Falcon 9 launch opportunity and the range is ready to support. Weather officials are keeping a keen eye on the weather for any probability of launch weather constant violations. But as we don't receive any particular weather forecast for from 45th Weather Squadron for Vandenberg launch, so we don't have the specifics to share with you guys. But I did check out the weather at Vandenberg. It's decent, not bad, and we are having scattered clouds with 30% cloud cover and a wind speed of 15 miles per hour. Now let's take a look at today's payload details for Starlink Group 15-4 mission. Today's launch is the 39th dedicated Starlink mission of the year. Before this, a total of 910 Starlink satellites had already been launched in 2025 alone. So soon we will be having the benchmark of 1,000 satellites to be getting launched for Starlink alone this year. Now, Starlink satellite built in Redmond, Washington. Today's payload consists of 26 Starlink version 2 mini optimized satellites. Just a reminder, today's payload does not consist any of direct-to-cell satellites. Each of these satellites having 5 advanced Ku-band phased array antennas, 3 dual-band parabolic antennas using Ka and E bands, and a dual solar array that spreads out to about 100 feet wide with a total surface area of 52.5 square meters. Now, not to forget, these two solar arrays are also aeroneutral, which enable faster on-orbit maneuvers, and each satellite is equipped with a high-capacity battery to provide power to the payloads. Each Starlink satellite features 3 space laser transponders, also known as optical inter-satellite links for intercommunications operating at up to 200 Gbps. They make use of argon-fueled Hall-effect thrusters for in-orbit maneuvering, which was previously based on Krypton, and this switch was mainly due to the cost-effectiveness that argon provides compared to Krypton. Now, just to understand this, that why this switch was so crucial. Now, relative to Krypton, the argon required to fuel version 2 satellites will be practically free. Now, to put it into perspective, fueling its next constellation of almost 30,000 version 2 satellites could cost SpaceX less than fueling 4,000 version 1 satellites, which were based on Krypton. Also, SpaceX claims that its second generation thrusters using argon has 2.4 times the thrust and 1.5 times the specific impulse of the previously Krypton fueled thrusters. Now, today's payload will be deployed in an orbit with an altitude of approximately 267 kilometers with an inclination of 70 degrees. But the operational orbit will be an altitude of about 535 kilometers with the same inclination of 70 degrees. Each optimized version 2 mini weighs approximately 1,268 pounds or equivalent to 575 kilograms, which is about 22% lighter than the original version 2 mini design. Now, just for the context, each of the unoptimized version weighs around 1,763 pounds, which is equivalent to 800 kilograms. I will be coming to the optimization of this Starlink satellite part just in a while. Let me finish with the payload details. Now, Starlink satellite uses custom-built star tracker to find their position, altitude, and orientation for optimal broadband throughput. Each one has 4 reaction wheels for precise attitude control, plus a hot spare setup for reliability, and their aluminum flywheel is designed to safely burn at the end of their useful life during the re-entry. Additionally, they have an onboard autonomous collision avoidance system that uses the US Department of Defense debris tracking database for avoiding collisions with space junk, other spacecraft, and other Starlink satellites autonomously. Now, to understand the importance of autonomous collision avoidance system, here's a quick context. According to a SpaceX Starlink report, previous, published last year, Starlink satellite performs 275 collision avoidance maneuvers each day. And in that course of past 6 months, when that report got published, Starlink satellite performed 50,000 collision avoidance maneuvers. So I hope these numbers can make you understand the significance of an autonomous collision avoidance system. Now about the optimization of the version 2 mini satellites of Starlink. So firstly, the key optimization here is a 22% weight reduction, which I mentioned earlier, bringing each satellite's launch mass to approximately 575 kilograms compared to the original version 2 mini's 800 kilograms. So that's a huge difference. If you will be comparing, it's just a difference for one satellite. So with a stack of 26 or 28, and even now they are launching 29 of them. So that makes a huge difference. So this lighter design achieved through upgraded avionics, propulsion, and power systems, which allows more satellites to fit within the Falcon 9's payload fairing. Additional enhancements includes a Doppio dual band antenna for improved bandwidth and mass optimized components tailored for efficient stacking and deployment. All this optimization allows Falcon 9 to carry up to 29 Starlink satellites per mission, around 6 more than the original version 2 mini designs. Now some quick fun facts. Back in 2024, during Starlink 6-39 mission, SpaceX launched 24 Starlink version 2 mini satellites. It was the then highest count for version 2 minis, but for this year, with group 11-8 back in the month of January, SpaceX launched 27 optimized version 2 mini satellites for the first time. Then again on March 2025, with group 6-80, they launched 28 optimized version 2 minis for the first time. At that point, it was the highest, but with the recent May 4th, 2025 Starlink launch, SpaceX broke its own record by launching 29 version 2 mini satellites, surpassing the previous high of 28. And that was the biggest batch yet for version 2 mini variant. But in comparison, the highest for version 1 is 60 satellites, and for version 1.5, it's 56. With today's launch, it marks the 15th time, SpaceX launching its optimized version 2 mini variants, bringing the total to 411 number of satellites. So that's all about the payload we had to discuss with you guys. Now, a question can uh, arise that why optimize Starlink satellites and why there is an increase in number of satellites per launch. Actually, this question was being asked by one of our moderator here, Pop Tripika. So to address our moderator only and two others who are having such curiosity, here is the answer that SpaceX is increasing launching optimized version 2 mini Starlink satellites as a strategic move to expand and upgrade its satellite internet network. These satellites act as a transitional solution until the larger version 3 variants can launch aboard Starship. These lighter and more advanced version 2 minis offer roughly 4 times the capacity of earlier versions, allowing more to be launched per mission, as we have seen up to 29 at a time, which reduces the cost and accelerate the deployment. This helps SpaceX meet the rising global demand, replacing the aging and deorbited version 1 or version 1.5 satellites, and to maintain consistent coverage while building its authorized Generation 2 constellation of up to 30,000 satellites. Now, for an example, in February back in 2024, last year, SpaceX announced deorbiting 100 older version 1 satellites due to a potential flaw, and recent data shows that they are deorbiting about 4 to 5 satellites daily. So this creates voids in the constellation, which SpaceX addresses by launching the new version 2 mini optimized satellites, offering 4 times the capacity and improved performance. Now, let's take a look at the flight record for the booster supporting today's Starlink 15-4 mission. The booster with tail number 1088 supporting today's mission, a young booster you can say, with 5 previous flights in its record, including 4 non-Starlink missions like 2 NROL missions, that is NROL 126 and 57, one SpaceX's Rideshare Transporter 12 mission, and NASA's SpaceX and Punch mission. Well, SpaceX and Punch is a same mission, don't get confused, and additionally this booster supported only one Starlink mission. Now waiting for his next one, and also waiting for his 6th flight approximately 24 minutes from now. The last mission supported by today's booster was the Starlink 11-13 from here only at Vandenberg on 3rd of April this year. Also, it's worth mentioning that these boosters, all of its 5 previous launches are from here at Vandenberg itself, and today marks the booster's 5th flight of the year and its overall 3rd landing on, of course, I Still Love You droneship, with previous 3 land landings on landing zone 4. The booster's turnaround time as of today is 39 days, and previously the booster on its 4th flight with NROL-57 mission, just after supporting NASA's SpaceX mission, made a new record for the quickest booster turnaround time of 9 days, 3 hours and 39 minutes to be precise, reducing the previous record time by around 4 days. Previously, the quickest booster turnaround time was 13 days, and this record was held by booster with tail number 1080 on its 13th flight between Starlink 6, 12-69 and 12-1 missions. So this booster made some remarkable achievement within a very young age. Well, Pop Typica, yes, yeah, we should be staying up tonight, and I'm staying up tonight for 2 days now. Yesterday, they messed up with the launch for the Starlink group 6-83, like with the adjustments in the liftoff time. At I guess they adjusted 5 times. Now, finally, they gave up, and my every stats got messed up. Then again, I had to work on things. So now again, today we are having this record-breaking flight for the booster. So let's enjoy that launch, and then finally I will have some sleep. Well, would like to welcome Jimmy Montes for joining us once again. Hi, Jimmy, and thanks for tuning in. I hope you are doing well. And back for round two. Um, we are having two launches today. Although it's your second visit, but we have another one. So I hope you will be joining us in that launch as well. So now let's have a look at the bar graph showing number of Falcon 9 launches each year. Before this upcoming launch, SpaceX completed its 55th Falcon 9 launch for this year with Starlink 6-91 mission launch from Cape Canaveral on May 10th, obscuring the number of annual launches made till year 2021. SpaceX is now having 24 more than the launches made in the year 2021. Now, with today's launch of Starlink 15-4 mission, the bar graph shows 56 number of Falcon 9 launches for 2025. SpaceX is now less than halfway to the number of launches made in year 2022 and 2023, and will be having just 5 less number of launches from 2022 and 40 less than the launches made in the year 2023 with today's mission launch. As of today, SpaceX is yet to reach even the half of the launches made last year, which stands around 66 launches if we will be calculating. Now, we know previously SpaceX completed 132 launches of Falcon 9 last year, marking a year with the highest annual launches to date for SpaceX. Now again, they are aiming for another record-breaking year with around 180 Falcon 9 launches itself, which is quite an ambitious target. And apart from upcoming Falcon Heavy launches, if any, so that will be surely surpassing last year's highest annual launch count. Now, if this stream fuels your love for space, give this stream a like. It's like fine-tuning the trajectory of our mission to build a community with amazing space enthusiasts like you. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification so that you won't miss a single launch update. We believe together here at AstroYonder that we will build the ultimate constellation of space enthusiasts, and we would be super grateful for your support. Now, please allow us a couple of seconds to check whether the launch is on time or not and to stay updated. As of now, they are sticking with their liftoff time, so no worries, that's a good news. Well, Jimmy, where we can check it? You have an YouTube channel, then do tell us about that. We will surely watch it, and if it's on X, then also say us that the link of like any link for your X account so that we can watch it. And also would like to talk a little bit about these footages you took. Now, again, I will be skipping the pre-launch timeline today as well because it's a typical Falcon 9 launch for Starlink with absolutely no deviations in any of the pre-launch events. However, there is one point I would like to highlight just for your quick knowledge and which you might be already familiar with, that the strong back reclining process here at Vandenberg differs from that at Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center. Here at Vandenberg, we recline the strong back 13 degrees, whereas at Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center, we recline the strong back about a degree and a half away from Falcon 9. So that's the only thing that's different in today's pre-launch schedule, as this is a Vandenberg flight. Now, just a reminder, SpaceX is currently targeting a liftoff time of Falcon 9 from Vandenberg Space Force Base at 6:15 p.m. Pacific Time, 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday, May 12th of 2025. Well, Jimmy, please do tell us about your any link, or also you can text us on X so that we can check your footage, and really would be happy to see a launch coverage from another view, at least from SpaceX, other than SpaceX's perspective. So please do provide us with any link you have about your YouTube channel or anything. We would love to watch it. Now let's go ahead and briefly step through the trajectory for today's mission. Falcon 9 leaving the pad from Space Launch Complex 4 East from Vandenberg Space Force Base with the spacecraft on board the batch of 26 Starlink satellites for a southeast trajectory along the coast of Southern California, heading into a low Earth orbit, that is to the 15th shell of second generation Starlink mega constellation, indicated by that green line on your screen. The red line you see indicates where Falcon 9 first stage will land after stage separation, just a little later, leaving California's coast. This is going to be a off-the-land landing, a drone ship landing, and today it will be supported by, of course, I Still Love You here on the West Coast. This will going to be the 130th landing on, of course, I Still Love You drone ship to date if successful. And some recovery specifics for you. The estimated recovery is approximately 598 kilometers, with estimated fairing recovery approximately 605 kilometers downrange, and the stage 2 debris will be in the South Pacific Ocean during its second orbit. Now on your screen here are some of the specifics related to drone ships as of today. Currently there are 3 in SpaceX's drone ship fleet. Out of 3, of course, I Still Love You is based here at California, and other 2, Just Read the Instructions and a shortfall of Gravitas, are in Florida. Now let's talk about the fairing recovery process. The 2 halves of the payload fairing will be recovered slightly farther, approximately 7 kilometers downrange from where the first stage lands on the drone ship, of course, I Still Love You. After these fairing halves will smoothly splash down with the guidance of parachutes. SpaceX will utilize a recovery vessel to retrieve them from the Pacific waters. You can see on your screen right now that how a fairing recovery looks like. Although the recovery vessel on your screen is Dirk performing the recovery operations, but for today's supporting recovery vessel is Go Beyond here at the Pacific. Other recovery vessels at the East Coast. Bob Bob is now gearing up for the upcoming Starlink Group 6-83 that will be happening in a couple of hours from now, and I guess the time will be get delayed because we have 50% probability of launch weather constant violations at the beginning of the launch window, which will improve to 90%. Means 10% will be violating, 90% go. So I guess they will be delaying the launch. But now, while Doug and Go Cosmos are waiting for their next assignment, and Go Cosmos is roaming around the Gulf of Mexico, or you can say Gulf of America, which one you prefer to say. I don't want to get any debate about saying that. Now, if you feel we are adding value to your viewing experience, please consider giving this stream a like. It's like the fuel for YouTube's algorithm rocket to bring in more space lovers and helping rocket fans to discover this stream. And that will make us to have an amazing community with amazing space enthusiasts like you. So also consider about smashing the subscribe button and turning on the bell notification, as we are burning the midnight propellant to bring you the detailed streams packed with stats and insights. Your support would totally send us over the moon, but figuratively, try to mean it. Also would like to welcome Fairmaid, one of our moderator. Fairmaid, thanks for tuning in. I was just talking about you in like a few minutes ago that you will be coming to join us. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you are doing well. Also would like to welcome Delon Schropp. I hope I pronounced your name right. If not, my apologies for that. Well, Gulf of Mexico, that's a quite a funny way to say that, but that's a good amalgamation of the name. Really, I liked it. But many people are debating on that, so I just mentioned that. Many are saying Gulf of America, many are saying Gulf of Mexico. It doesn't matter if you are getting to know that whether to what place you are referring to, then why to get in a debate? Now coming to some stats related to today's mission launch, I guess we are just 3 minutes away from the webcast to begin. So today's launch marks the 484th SpaceX's overall launch and the 39th dedicated Starlink launch of this year. This is going to be the 471st Falcon 9 launch to date. The 6th flight of this particular Falcon 9 booster supporting today's mission, with tail number 1088 being in action after 39 days. Today's mission marks 56th Falcon 9 launch and SpaceX's 58th overall launch of 2025. This will be the 413th Falcon booster reflight to date. It is the launch of a booster that has flown at least once before. 124th orbital launch for SpaceX, launching from Space Launch Complex 4 East, and the 191st overall orbital launch from Slick 4 East. With the success of this mission, SpaceX will have a remarkable 8,582 Starlink satellites, including 609 dedicated direct-to-cell satellites launched to date. Now moving on to some reusability statistics. This launch marks 397th Falcon 9 booster reflight to date. This will be the 130th landing on, of course, I Still Love You drone ship. 6th landing of this first stage booster with tail number 1088 supporting today's mission. And with this mission's first stage landing, SpaceX will be having their 355th overall drone ship landing, marking 425th Falcon 9 landing so far and 444th SpaceX's overall landing to date. Now let's take a look into some key stats for SpaceX launches in this year specifically, including today's mission. With today's mission, SpaceX will be having its 58th launch of this year, and out of those, 39 are Starlink missions, including today's one. 17 were non-Starlink missions for commercial and government organizations, and 2 Starship launches. 53 of these missions using a reuse booster, including today's one. SpaceX is now having 38 launches from East Coast, and on the West Coast, they will be having 18 launches with today's mission. As of now, 2 launches from Gulf Coast at Starbase in Texas with Starship's 7th and 8th test flight, and 2 Super Heavy booster catches for both of those test flights. For landings, they will be nailing it for the 54th time this year. Most of the landings are on drone ship and 45 landings, and for ground landings, they pulled off 9 of them. Now I guess it's time for the webcast to begin. So let me just check whether the stream is up or not. Yes, it's live. So please allow me a couple of seconds to set the stream for you guys. Oh, we didn't miss anything. SpaceX is having some now pre-launch tunes going on. So I will patch the mission audio feed once it drops. Meanwhile, let me give you some more stats for today's mission launch. Today, it's the 100th orbital launch of the year, and the United States is leading with 65 launches, followed by China with 25 launches, Russia with 5, 1 launch each by India, Japan, and Europe with 3 launches. So there we go. We are getting some spectacular views. Falcon 9 seems like in fumes now, getting ready for its liftoff. And we did got the call out for tanks getting pressurizing for a strong back retract. Well, unfortunately, about strong back retract process is now underway. I was just going to talk about a little bit about the Starship. So earlier yesterday, again a recent static fire test of the ship 35 was being scrubbed after having engine issues, but fortunately all went good on its second attempt. Now, being hopeful, the NOTAMs suggest that the launch can be possible between May 21st to 30th with a 2-hour launch window opening at 23:30 hours UTC for each day, with current assumptions supporting 21st of May for the launch of Starship's Flight 9. So let's keep our fingers crossed about that. Now we did saw the strong back retract is now retracting away from the Falcon 9, and it will be retracting 13 degrees away from the Falcon 9, as this is a Vandenberg flight. Now we are loading the liquid oxygen on both the first and second stages. We will be listening in a couple of seconds for LOX load completion for both the stages.
Stage 1 LOX load complete.
There we go. Stage 1 LOX load is complete. We are now waiting for the second stage that will finish up just inside T-minus 2 minutes mark. Right now, all the RP1 prop is now on board. We are just waiting for the call out for second stage LOX load closeout. Well, Jimmy, I didn't understood what you talked about, that feedback and something, and also Pop Typica about same body of water. I'm not understanding you guys. Maybe I got out of context what you guys were talking in between. I guess they missed stage 2 LOX load. No, they gave it. So we have the stage 2 LOX load now complete. So all the propellants are now on board the Falcon 9 with complete 1 million pounds of propellant. So we are now beginning to vent down the pressure. It was in the tubing. That's why we can see those clouds coming up. It's an healthy indicator of launch coming up. We did got the call out for ground gas closeout as well. So right now we are expecting the call out for Falcon 9 in startup.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Right on time. Falcon 9 flight computers on both the stages are running the rocket to the last minute of count. Now let's listen to the go call out from the launch director.
LD is go for launch.
SpaceX launch director giving go for the launch. We are now coming at closely T-minus 30 seconds. All systems continues to remain go for the launch of Falcon 9 and Starlink. Today that ground gas closeout looks quite amazing.
T minus 15 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff of Falcon 9. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
Vehicles pitching downrange. M1D chamber pressures are nominal.
T plus 20 seconds into the flight, we had a successful Falcon 9 liftoff. Falcon 9 clearing the tower successfully. We did a call out, got a good call out that stage 1 engine chamber pressure is nominal. Right now Falcon 9 is on its way with 26 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Some more good callouts. Power and telemetry is nominal. We are right now throttling down the 9 Merlin engines.
Vehicle supersonic.
Prepare for the period of maximum dynamic stress coming up. And we now accelerate Mach 1 on the Falcon 9 as we have gone supersonic.
Max Q.
Max Q callout. So we are through the period of maximum stress on the Falcon 9 right now. We have again throttled up the Merlin engines back up to full power. Now expecting the next call out for MVAC engine chill.
AVAC chill started.
There we go, we got the call out. Right now we started to chill down the MVAC engine on the second stage prior to its ignition just after stage separation. Following that, we will be having 3 events in rapid succession. The shutdown of main engine on first stage, that is main engine cutoff, also known as MECO, followed by stage separation and ignition of second stage MVAC engine that we are now chilling for the event known as SES-1 that will boost the payload into low Earth orbit. So let's sit back and enjoy these spectacular views and wait for these upcoming callouts. Really, daytime launches are my favorite for Falcon 9.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed. AVAC ignition.
So we got the callouts for all the back-to-back milestones as they went all smooth. So next we are expecting the call out for fairing separation.
Fairing separation confirmed.
So we got the call out that the fairing has successfully separated, and we did saw that stage 1 nitrogen thrusters to reorient the first stage, and the flight computers commanding the 4 hypersonic titanium grid fins to slowly deploying. Now they are deployed, and you can see they are a little bit steering while with those nitrogen gas bursts on the first stage to realign it as it will rise towards the apogee before descending back down to the landing site for today, and its drone ship, of course, I still love you, station in the Pacific Ocean. Second stage, meanwhile, in its middle of 6-minute burn on its way into the parking orbit while providing us some spectacular views in the backdrop. Really amazing. So I guess today's the first stage apogee is 119 kilometers. That's the highest according to the telemetry as of now, and we'll be getting confirmed, I guess, from our moderator Fairmid if Fairmid is watching right now with us. So far, okay, well, we got the confirmation from our moderator that the apogee is 119 kilometers for the first stage. So far the launch has been great. The first stage has done its job and is on its way back. Second stage is running at full capacity right now. We're getting amazing views from space. Now currently we are getting ready for the first stage to return to the drone ship landing site. And during this part of the flight, stage 1 completely relies on its grid fins, and you can see them steering at times, and these grid fins orient the Falcon 9 during re-entry and guide the rocket through its descent. And right now we are seeing the second stage, but occasionally on the left hand side of your screen you will see nitrogen gas bursts from the first stage for attitude control, that is the orientation control, and these are basically used to position the vehicle as it heads back towards the drone ship. Now just a heads up, when we will be hearing stage 1 FTS being saved, it means the re-entry burn of stage 1 has been accomplished. And we did got the call out stage 1 entry burn startup. So we have now just let the 3 of Merlin 1D engines on the first stage, and this burn should last around 23 seconds.
Stage 1 entry burn shut
There we go, the confirmation of stage 1 entry burn shutdown. Now next we will be having the call out for stage 2 FTS being saved. That means the stage 2
FTS has saved.
already we got the call out for stage 1 FTS being saved. That means the stage 1 entry burn is now accomplished, and we did saw that. And what I was going to say, that stage 2 FTS being saved, that means the stage 2 went through its orbital insertion burn.
Stage 1 transonic.
Stage
So
2 FTS has saved.
we got the call out for stage 1 being transonic. That means the Falcon 9 first stage is now traveling slower than the speed of sound. And we did got this call out for stage 2 FTS being saved, meaning that the stage 2 went through its orbital insertion burn successfully. Now next call out expecting for stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
So there we go, great views of that landing burn with center E9 engine now lit. So with that we are slowing down the vehicle furthermore. Landing legs deployed now.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
So we got the confirmation, stage 1 landing all went successful. So we made it for the 425th time landing of an orbital class Falcon 9 rocket. Coming up next, we will have the second stage engine cutoff, that is SECO 1. We did got the call out SECO, and following that event, the second stage with the payload on board will enter into nearly 45 minutes of course phase as the vehicle ascends to its target for the payload deployment.
Nominal insertion.
So there we go, we got the call out for nominal orbit insertion as well. So these are the callouts we were waiting for. Stage 1 engine cutoff, SECO 1, as well as the confirmation of good nominal orbit. So today's flight went all good, giving us spectacular views as it was a nearly daytime launch. I hope the next launch we will have some good views, as this is the next one is a record breaking one for the booster having 28 flight for the first time. Meanwhile, who is the host? Firstly, I would like to welcome Red Pill 88V6X. I wish I could say that, hi, my name is Dipta, I'm working here from SpaceX or something, blah, 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 but I'm not that. As our moderator said that I am Dipta here at AstroYonder giving the commentary for the launch coverages. And I hope I didn't bother your ears with my such melody-full voice. So with that, we will wrap up our coverage for today's mission. Today's launch marks SpaceX's 484th successful mission, with the landing marking their 444th success. So we are going to stream the upcoming Starlink Group 6-83 launch in a couple of hours from now. So don't forget to tune in. Stream is posted on our channel already and is waiting for your visit. Now, before wrapping up, want to thank all of you for wherever you are watching our live launch coverage. It's really impossible to do this broadcast without you and your encouragement. So thank you for your continued support for what we do here at AstroYonder. Be sure to check out our social media handle on X for the latest happenings in space industry and updates on upcoming launches. Hope you enjoyed the stream, And we appreciate everyone joining us for today's launch. Wishing you a nice week ahead. Now, before wrapping up, would like to once again remind Jimmy to please post any links for the your filmed launches of the previous one and for today's one. Would love to see them. Also, would like to thank our moderators, Fairmaid, Poptripika, for joining us for today's launch. And yes, Dipto to Red Pill, I'm saying it's my name, Dipto. I'm not from SpaceX. Don't worry. SpaceX guys won't be sitting here. They will be there or some, you know. Anyways, thanks Jimmy for tuning in as well. Now, once again, thanks everyone for watching. And this is AstroYonder live and me Dipto sign off for now, and we will see you next time.